early days, struggles, success. Walk me through kind of that first 12 months, 24 months. How did you focus on the business? Where did your business come from? Did you hit the ground running and have instant, clients and sales, or was it a struggle?
Well, I definitely hit the ground workaholicing. I was like, okay, we're starting a business, Esther, and we know that business entrepreneurs have to like work all the time. So I'll see you later. And basically, she was on board with that. I mean, she was a stay-at-home mom that last 2 years while I was a manager at Heidelberg. So she was used to being a stay-at-home mom, and I was basically she was on board. She trusted me. Like it was the scariest time ever to have 6 months worth of savings, to not have any other job as far as income goes, because I wasn't part timing this and trying to be a real estate agent. It was, I'm going to be a real estate agent. So I didn't sell my first house until month four, and we only had $1,200 left in the bank at that point. So really, it was pretty scary. All I did was just have faith in God, and then from there, it was great. Business just came.
And did
And
you
yeah, for that first year, I sold 17 houses, and the average first year sells four, I think.
yeah.
So I was like, wow, that was pretty cool. How did that happen? Um, part of it was I was texting everybody all the time, Facebooking all the time, because everybody said you got to do X. I mean, I bought into Coldwell Banker day one because as a Heidelberg employee, the suppliers would come in 9 months out of the year, October, November, and December. They left us alone because we were too busy selling their alcoholic beverages. So for 9 months out of the year, I don't know how many Fridays that is, 1 to 3 to 5 suppliers would come in and they would put a PowerPoint presentation on the board, on the wall, and they would show 100 plus salespeople whatever they wanted to show us so that we knew what we had to know so that we could sell their products. And you'd see some really bad, boring PowerPoints, and then you'd see some really great ones, some of the top notch ones, because they have millions of dollars of marketing people behind it. And then obviously, when we're figuring out what brokerage we want to work with, we're interviewing brokerages, and the PowerPoint presentation that they put out for me for Caldwell Banker at the time, King Thompson, I just was blown away. It was like one of the best that I've seen in 13 years worth of supplier and PowerPoint presentations. I've seen quite a bit of sales pitches. So yeah, it just hit home there. So I knew I was in the right place to learn. I knew I needed to learn all this stuff, right? Because all these things I didn't know. Like as soon as you're in real estate school, and a lot of people space it out, but I did it 3 weeks straight. I realized really quickly, like this is scary stuff. This is important stuff. There's all these laws and ways to get sued, and I just was like, "What am I doing? This is scary." And I found out that first week that real estate agents are the three least trusted professions in all of industry. I'm like, great. All right. So, all right, got to be a part of changing that. So, but when it rolls down to it, it's just like who's going to give me the most tools so that I can give the most value. And sell sheets give value. Like if you don't know the process, so like this is my, you probably can't see it again, but this is my 3-inch binder. It's pretty
Yeah.
big for my consultations. My consultations last 3 or 4 hours because I role play through everything. Because in the beginning, I would take any client and I would let them be in charge of the process and instead of just the decisions. Um, and I would not be in control. So I didn't know how to fix their problems or be of value to them because it was just a chaos situation or out of control. So now I just lay out everything up front, give them everything that my brain thinks they need. Yeah, it takes hours and it's boring and long. And you're going to yawn probably, but then from there, you're able to go out and be successful. So I was successful in the beginning. I would give that credit to God because I don't know how I sold 17 my first year. And then the next year I sold 25. And then I sold 27 or 35. I can't remember, but 35 probably went then to 27, then 20, and then only 12 last year. So, but I did, when COVID happened, lost my workaholic addiction. So like God really stripped me of that. It was just all about family. Oh, so I spent a lot of time being with family. So
Yeah.
it
You know,
gets to that point where you say, well, I don't have to do XYZ, but you probably should do XYZ, because if you do XYZ, you don't probably go down.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm blaming the interest rates, not my lack of workaholism. But if you're in front of people, essentially it's a popularity contest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be popular for the last 3 years. I wanted to be home with my family. I didn't
Yeah.
want people to know that I'm out there breaking records. I even stopped marketing closings. I used to take pictures of every single closing. I stopped doing everything because I didn't want to be popular. I just wanted to be there for the people and focus on my family, and God would provide everything else. But in the beginning, I did all those things, and my business was beneficial from it. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
One of the things that you mentioned is it took, I think this is where, because I'm passionate about helping new people get into the business, right?
I
Like,
see that. I know that.
I believe that, our failure rate doesn't need to be what it is, right? That more people that can come into this business could have more success. They just sometimes go to the wrong situations. And I'll touch on yours, with your PowerPoint here in a second, why I think that's important, but the first 4 months was you building up the momentum in the business. And then the last 8 months, you did 17 deals, right? And I think a lot of people get into this industry, they just think that it's going to be easy and they're going to have instant, real estate success because everyone needs to buy a home, right? I wish it was that easy. I wish it was that easy, but I just wanted to highlight that real quick because it was 4 months of pain and struggle and focus and everything that it took. And then once you get that momentum going, it then starts to compound, right, over time, as long as you stay
Definitely.
consistent with it. And it's interesting that you brought up, from your previous career, being able to see, what's a great presentation and a PowerPoint, right? And that's kind of what sealed the deal when it came to picking the brokerage for you. But as real estate agents in this market, I try to tell everyone that buyer consultation, that listing presentation, like, you have to know your stuff. It has to be dialed in. It has to be repeatable. And if you don't have that in today's market, you're going to be missing a lot of opportunities, and your conversion percentage is going to be a lot less because that does matter. Something small like that of how you present it and all of those things, it truly matters in this type of market.